We go back to the year 1999. Two strange black aircraft take off into the night from the Missouri Air Base in the United States. Without being detected by any radar, they fly and fly, entering Yugoslavian airspace. They drop precision bombs on military targets and return like ghosts just before dawn. Silent, invisible, and, indeed, deadly. Now, what's more shocking is to know that the cost of building each of these aircraft is over $2 billion. Meaning if this aircraft were a person, it could buy a small country and become its president. I'm talking about the B-2 bomber. Let me start from the very beginning. The 1980s was a time when the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union had reached its peak. The United States was looking for a way to conduct operations deep within enemy territory without being detected, without engaging in direct conflict. This is where a secret project called the Advanced Technology Bomber was initiated. But what exactly was the goal of this project? To build a gigantic aircraft with a wingspan of 50 meters, and more importantly, completely invisible to radar. Moreover, this aircraft had the capability to carry conventional and nuclear weapons, as well as large, heavy GPS-guided bombs. This project continued in complete silence for years until in 1988, for the first time, an image of a strange black aircraft was broadcast on American television. They named it the B-2 Spirit. It's interesting to know that although the United States sells many of its advanced weapons to its allies, it has not sold this bomber to any country and has kept it exclusively for its own air force. However, the high cost of this bomber has made things a bit difficult for the United States. In fact, the price of over $2 billion for each B-2 is not just because of its technology, but also due to the limited number produced. To give you an idea, only 21 of these aircraft have been built, whereas originally they planned to build 132. But with the end of the Cold War and the reduction in military budget, production was halted. Currently, only 19 B-2s are in service, because 2 of them have been lost. Therefore, maintaining this small fleet is both costly and challenging. Each aircraft must be completely overhauled every 9 years, and the stealth coatings need to be reapplied. But let's delve a bit more into the details and see exactly how this bomber aircraft works. Or rather, what is the combination of technologies that make up the stealth of this bomber? The first point I can mention relates to the aerodynamic design and stealth of this aircraft. It doesn't resemble any other aircraft. It has no tail, no vertical stabilizer, and not even a turret. Instead, it is a full-fledged flying wing with a special design, and everything is designed so that radar waves scatter upon hitting it and do not return to the radar. In fact, every surface of its body has a specific angle whose sole purpose is to say, "No, I'm not here." It's somewhat like a ninja dressed in black, flying silently and motionlessly in the dead of night. Now that we've talked about the design, let me tell you about its body as well. The body is not just metal or carbon fiber. Rather, it is covered with several layers of special material that absorbs radar waves when they hit it. In fact, instead of reflecting the waves and revealing the aircraft's position, this body and its special coating ensure that the waves are absorbed and do not return. In this way, the aircraft remains hidden from radar, as if it wasn't there at all. It's interesting to know what exactly this material is made of. It's classified, but it is said to include polymers and special materials with electromagnetic properties. To help you understand this better, let me give you a simple example. Imagine the radar is like a flashlight that illuminates everything. But on the other hand, the coating of this aircraft is like a black cloth that completely absorbs the light, making nothing visible. But how can this bomber remain undetectable to thermal cameras? To solve this problem, the designers of the B-2 used a trick. The engine exhausts are hidden inside the wings, and the temperature of the exhaust gases is cooled before exiting. This means that the heat coming from the back of the engine is not hot enough for thermal sensors to easily detect it. Again, if I want to give a simple example for better understanding, it's kind of like putting a hot, fragrant dish in the fridge before taking it out. Well, that special aroma and scent won't come from the cold food to attract a hungry person towards it. All these strange designs have made the B-2 Spirit, in the true sense of the word, a metallic ghost in the sky. Therefore, on a sunny day, you only hear the sound of birds singing and have no idea that several kilometers above you, there might be a multi-billion-dollar bomber flying. Now let's review one of the famous operations of this bomber together. In 1999, during Operation Allied Force, the B-2s flew from the United States. They went to Serbia, or Yugoslavia at that time. They were in the air for 31 hours non-stop and returned. The point is that the planes were not seen anywhere along the route. Even some advanced European radars couldn't detect them. Now imagine it's 3 in the morning at an American air base and a mysterious siren goes off. 2 pilots wearing special suits enter a top-secret room that only opens with eye scan and fingerprint. There, a black aircraft is waiting for them. A bit. But what is its mission? To bomb an underground base in enemy territory, without anyone even noticing. The strange thing is that throughout this entire journey, the aircraft does not make any contact with the control tower. This means everything has been precisely planned in advance. Now it's important to know that there are various theories about this bomber. There is a theory that says this technology wasn't built solely with human engineering. Some believe that part of the technology comes from secret projects like the Aurora project, or even reverse engineering from UFOs. But there isn't solid evidence behind it. I mean, is it really possible that a part of a deadly aircraft came from a flying saucer? Maybe, or maybe not. But joking aside, when so much money is spent on building something, one might suspect there's something behind the scenes. Now, a funny point is that inside the cockpit, there's also a food heating system, because the pilot has to stay in the air for up to 40 hours. One of the pilots mentioned in an interview that we fly a $2 billion fighter jet, but we heat frozen pizza. It's just like going to a falafel shop to order a falafel sandwich with an iPhone 16 Pro. Joking aside, I must say that this aircraft has a resting area, food, and even a toilet in the cabin so that the pilot can endure these long flights. Additionally, refueling is done every 6 hours by a KC-135 tanker, which requires a lot of precision. Now, if you want my opinion on the B-2 bomber, honestly I have to say that I personally always find myself caught between technology and ethics. On one hand, this bomber is an engineering masterpiece. But on the other hand, it is built to kill innocent people who die because of their government's wars. But well, in the world of global powers, these are the harsh realities of life. What do you think? Do you think the existence of such weapons is necessary in today's world? Or do these inventions just make the world a worse place to live? The B-2 Spirit is not just an airplane. It is a symbol of the Cold War, a symbol of power, a symbol of fear, and a symbol of technology at its highest level. This bomber can penetrate the most complex air defense systems in the world and can carry a payload powerful enough to alter the course of history. Of course, I should also mention that the United States has not limited itself to this bomber, and the B-21 Raider is even more terrifying and advanced than the B-2. Of course, the B-21 Raider is still in the initial limited production stages, but it is expected to enter operational service in the next few years.